Why rich people don't always look rich. Have you ever seen someone driving an old car, wearing simple clothes and living in an ordinary house, and later discovered they were actually worth millions? Meanwhile, someone else might have a luxury car, designer clothes, an expensive watch, and thousands of followers on Instagram, but secretly be drowning in debt. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Looking rich and being rich are two completely different things. A lot of wealthy people don't spend money trying to prove they're wealthy. They understand something most people learn too late. Money you don't spend can become wealth. Think about it. If someone earns $150,000 a year but spends almost everything on luxury cars, expensive restaurants, designer clothes, vacations, and a huge house, they may look extremely wealthy. But if another person earns $100,000 and consistently saves and invests a large portion of their income, that person could quietly build much more wealth over time. The difference isn't what they earn. It's what they keep. And this is where many people get trapped. Social media has completely changed how we see wealth. You constantly see people showing luxury watches, exotic cars, expensive hotels, private jets, and designer fashion. But you rarely see their bank account. You don't know whether that car is fully paid for. You don't know whether the watch was bought with cash or credit. You don't know whether the vacation was funded by savings or debt. And you definitely don't know what happens after the camera turns off. That's why one of the biggest financial mistakes is trying to look wealthy before actually becoming wealthy. Real wealth is often invisible. It can look like a person driving the same car for 10 years because it still works perfectly. It can look like someone buying normal clothes instead of constantly upgrading their wardrobe. It can look like someone living in a modest home while investing the difference. It can look like someone saying, "No, I don't need that." And there's another important reason wealthy people may not look rich. They understand opportunity cost. Every dollar spent on something you don't really need is a dollar that can't be invested somewhere else. Imagine spending $500 every month trying to look successful. That's $6,000 a year. But if you invested that money consistently for decades, it could potentially grow into a significant amount. The exact result depends on investment returns, taxes, fees, and time, but the principle is simple. Money can either impress people today or potentially build your future tomorrow. This doesn't mean wealthy people never buy expensive things. Of course they do. The difference is that they can often afford those purchases without destroying their financial foundation. There's nothing wrong with buying a nice car, wearing good clothes, or enjoying a luxury vacation. The problem begins when you need those things to convince other people that you're successful. Because if your lifestyle requires constant spending just to maintain an image, you're not buying luxury. You're buying pressure. So the next time you see someone who doesn't look wealthy, don't assume they're struggling. And when you see someone surrounded by luxury, don't automatically assume they're rich. Wealth isn't always visible. Sometimes it looks like a Lamborghini. But sometimes it looks like a 10-year-old Toyota, a simple house, no flashy watch, and a healthy investment account quietly growing in the background. The goal shouldn't be to look rich. The goal should be to become financially independent enough that you don't need to prove anything to anyone. Because the richest person in the room might be the person nobody notices.